Good morning, everybody. I thought I'd show you around one of my favourite local churches, Church of St Mary in South Creake. Now, as you can see, it is wide open, no pews or anything like that, just like a medieval church would have been. And so, apart from a lack of wall paintings, it's pretty much the same structure. And most people would have stood to pray or knelt to pray and worship in those days. And it's keeping a nice Anglo-Catholic tradition with new statues everywhere, various saints, and some medieval glass in the windows still, very nice. And there we go, sort of little lady chapel, more medieval glass above it, more statues, which I don't know if you can see, and a nice little icon of the Virgin Mary. There we go. Archangel Michael in the niche there. And a wonderful reed screen. It's all a little bit dark, and there's the rood at the top, lit above, picture of Christ. The modern altar. In the old days it would have been way back there where it is in there where the priest would have stuck. Nowadays in modern Church of England it's brought this side of the church. Yeah, another statue of Our Lady, which is quite nice. And another side altar. More medieval glass, which I don't know if you can see too well because of the light, but a little bit of modern artwork has creeped in, but you know, churches are never living things, so that's fair enough. Sort of nice carved Stations of the Cross, quite nice. More statuary, all with the little candles glowing, as it would have been in medieval times. And look around, modern, church organ, which is again a relatively modern innovation in churches. Now, I don't know if you can see it too well. This huge, great, what do they call it? Yeah, sort of great big chest here was originally in Creake Abbey. So that was part of the old monastery, where all the papers and vestments and things were kept for safekeeping. There's a mixture of medieval and modern glass in that window. I don't know if we can get in too close. There we have a go. That's not too good because it's quite dark in here today. The old font, which unfortunately, like lots of things, has been smashed about by the iconoclasts of the Reformation and the Civil War, which has taken all the imagery off that. But here we are, another relatively local saint was St Edmund, and sort of associated with nearby Hunstanton, where he was supposed to have landed to claim the crown of East Anglia. And there we go. And there's a modern saint, which is Charles I, which is a Church of England saint, really. And some more medieval glass in there, which I hope you can see. And coat of arms, which is George II, I think, that one. A sort of war memorial wall. All the men in this village who lost their lives in the Great War. And we carry on. A bit more medieval glass. Now, as I said before, yeah, most people stood, but these little plinths at the bottom, these little steps at the bottom of the plinth in the church are where the old and infirm would have been able to sit during a service. There's a very ancient medieval pulpit. It's probably about 15th century. we'll go along. And there's the bridge screen again. I don't know if you can get a better view there. The screen. Unfortunately, there's no paintings on the actual screen anymore. Again, sort of wiped out post-Reformation, or during the Reformation and just after, where they didn't like all the imagery. Yeah. Patron saint of priests, Mr. Burney. More statuary in here, which is really nice. And it's overall a 13th century church. And it's quite impressive. And there's the main altar, which I don't really want to walk on the carpet because it's quite clean. But I don't know if I can get round this way and see if we can get there. Have a look at this one case for the host. Look at that for the Eucharist. That's beautiful. A little bit. There's some more angels up in the glass there. Statues. So it's a bit of a rambling thing, this, but we have some very late medieval pews still in the church, just in this part. So, some nice carving of a dog on that one. I think you can see that. And we come around. Some more there. There's a typical poppy head. Bits on the benches there. These are the choir benches, so it's all left. So it's all quite interesting. But the roof is somewhat special. If I can get up there and show you. See if we can get in there. All these angels in the roof. Beautifully painted. Sort of greens and reds and whites. I don't know how great a thing. They were originally put up to celebrate Henry V's victory at the Battle of Agincourt. So they're quite impressive. It's all right from the corner there, all the way along this lovely roof. And it's quite an impressive church. It's one of my favourites locally, simply because it has that medieval feel. With all the adaptations over the years, they've kind of stripped back to how it would have been, minus the wall paintings and the right of colour that the medieval church held. So have a quick look outside in a typical summer's day, because it's pouring with rain. Go out through the porch. Here we go, through the wires here, and out into the rain. And let's see if we can get an outside view of the church, I'm told. Let's have a look.